a heck of a game here going forward, and we're going to start on Night Market, well known for being a bit of a bloodbath here. We have an X immediately locked in, insta-locked from Bells. I mean, the pick ban happens out of the game, but still, it's always funny to see that. But we do see that Era X comp coming out. Not the Mako Era X, that was banned away, of course. But the Aimee first pick, that one's a little bit interesting, especially seeing that Julie pick down all the way to the 4-5. Is there any lore for that one?
I think in general, MrZerrtt is a lot. Oh, actually, yeah. Looking at it, it feels a little swapped. I would say that MrZerrtt would be more comfortable on the X, but instead, it is it being taken away by Bells. Aimee, of course, a very high priority pick in general, so not too surprised by that pick in particular. But the Era coming out, a lot of people have been saying that Era is a bad pick, but we've seen it twice today already. Looking for a little bit more here is MrZerrtt. 2 barriers already taken by the Bozo Bunch. A very fast play coming out as Obscure Breads onto Fini, but gets double barriered by a good dribble from Bells. Now with all of it opened up, it's looking a little scary here.
Peter Loki kind of break for a second there, my bad. There we go. Back in the game, and 20 seconds left in this point until we go into overtime and see all of those red cores going around. Bells tries to get a kill onto I, but it's not going to work just yet. The cyber swipe and the glitch pop is not enough. Bellringer not able to connect. Zerrtt taking a little bit of damage, but not too bad. Justice level 2, but it's not enough. Bells gets the core and sends it in. Not even overtime speed, but that was very, very fast.
And with the flip available as well, all 3 flips coming up and available for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S pretty soon. They're looking to be in a pretty good spot, especially since the midfielder, not having too much meter. Bells is going to have a field day if he can go on the offense here, and that's exactly what he's trying to do with the dribbles. But importantly, getting interrupted in the midfield, but still finding 1 barrier.
Yeah, the first barrier is the easy one even, but not easy in this one, it would seem. Red's trying to get down to the bottom, use the secondary as well really nicely, use the core flip there to get it forward, but Vaughn gets it up to Bells. Really nice midfielding there as per usual. Barrage gets it into the corner and keeps it there long enough for the core flip to happen. Another kill, double kill for Bells! And now Vaughn, a little bit of a stall there, had to use a primary just to get a little bit more speed onto it. 5 seconds until Aimee is back. They're trying to get something. Almost a good defense from MrZerrtt, but not perfectly executed, unfortunately. And I mean, what can you do in 1v3 against Bells? You already lose in Vaughn.
Yeah, tough situation. Made the most of it for a moment. A valiant attempt, but not quite enough here as the 2 brawlers face off yet again. 1 barrier taken instantly, trying to go for another. But I think the biggest thing that's hampering the Bozo Bunch is that one of their biggest strengths is that Dropleto Gret forward midfield synergy. And right now, MrZerrtt and Gret, both individually great players, but they're not playing as together as they would be with the starting roster.
Yeah, and especially, you know, at this level of play against a team like the BOIS that have played together so much, you really have to be on point with that because there's almost no way you're going to out-team play this team like they are now. But that's a really good big finish from the Fini as well. Bell's nice Bellringer dribble. The dribble down from Zerrtt doesn't get interrupted by the Giga Blast there. The primary from Era trying to get things done. Bell's very low, might have to use the core flip here just to survive, but is going to hold on to it for a little bit longer. Breads passes up. The flip actually goes the way of either. Great clear on that one. Cyber swipe, a lot of damage on the X, but not enough to get the kill just yet. Vaughn very low as well on top side. Bell's about to be unstaggered there, but not enough. The glitch pop, not enough either. That's a dash punch onto a goalie. Zerrtt gets a kill, and that is the chance here for the Bozo Bunch to try and get things done. Not quite enough just yet. The primary from the Era holds the line. Kai's back in 2 seconds. The core flip, though, goes in right as he's respawning in overtime.
Perfectly timed by Obscure Breads, but again, the midfield coordination not quite there from the Bozo Bunch. It feels like Vaughn is having a pretty easy time picking apart the passing plays here because it's not quite on time. And Bells, of course, having a decent time just getting past the midfield almost by himself. We're seeing a lot of direct passes from Yuri-Luz to Bells because the passes are not being cut, like right there, converting into a barrier as MrZerrtt and Gret trying to find conversion off of that flip, but all they get is taking a ton of damage.
Yeah, and that's really massive here, especially, oh, now ZerrT is staggered as well. Their potential kill angle here. The cyber swipe, though, and the dash punch gets the core a little bit of control, but they lose it immediately after there. ZerrT trying to strike war against you already lose, but Belarus is not going to let that go that easily. The bull rush goes wide from Bells. They're trying to get things done. Imi passes up, it's just to YAL on the other side. The U-Blast just bounces ZerrT all the way back onto the other side, and even the Juliet getting killed during the ultimate is so tragic there. Bells getting the barrier, and now it is the potential for the boys to take the set. The core flip comes out. The enemy charge, the big finish. Really nice core flip from Bells as well with the X Maximus. I mean, there's not a lot you can do about that one. Well played by the boys.
Yeah, and as we head into this next draft, the Era X, of course, the narrative is always a scaling composition, but Kai can do a lot of speed scaling himself, has the potential to do so here. Perhaps an Egoist pickup here, combined with the Catalyst start. An incredibly powerful pickup, an incredibly high priority pickup. But Egoist will just fall. They see Obscure Breads as the goalie, who will make a little bit less of a use of it and instead guarantee better picks for later on in the draft. Potentially getting the rapid fire onto the Era is what they're looking for, perhaps, and that's exactly what they're doing here, and making sure that ZerrT does not get the adrenaline rush. No win condition for the Juliet. Unstoppable is good, but it is not something that you win the game with.
Yeah. There's so many things you have to do to win a game. There's very rarely at this level just one thing that'll get it to you. But little steps on the way are what it takes. And that first barrier is a great way for the Bozo Bunch to start things off in this set. Bell's trying to get through with the bell ringer. The big finish is not enough. Actually ends up being a double unfortunate bounce out of the big finish, and good playing around that ability from Bells. Pass from Vaughn over to the corner. Almost puts it all the way in with the Demon Angle, but it's not enough. The Giga Blast also not enough. ZerrT rocketing around the field here, trying to do what he can, but not enough. The dash punch there, though, does get the second barrier. Open goals on both sides here. Gret also with that core flip available. Gonna let it go by for now. Cyber swipe into Bells, puts a lot of damage on him. Almost dying as well. Has to use the evade there a little bit further from the core flip when he was just so close to it. But he will stay alive for now. Core flip, though, from ZerrT is going to be enough to finish out the ball.
Yeah, MrZerrtt sliding in with the dash punch at the last possible moment. Somehow maintaining the unstoppable, too. Finds the flip and the goal there. And they still maintain two flips as well on Breads and Gret. That is such a big advantage for the Bozo Bunch in finding their way back into this game. Unless Bells and Vaughn could find a big play here. They find one barrier, looking for two, a good flip, but Gret immediately hits it away. And now the X Maximus is looking very scary in the midfield as Vaughn and Bells are both meterless, but an amazing Giga Blast just snipes Gret, and with the power play, they're rushing forward. Bells and You Already Lose still continuing to push forward here. And once again, both barriers go down.
Yeah, open goal here, and oh, Bells puts it in with the Strangle there. Really nicely done, trips up Obscure Breads there, who did strike in time if it would have been a direct strike, but direct striking into it is not the way to go here. You have to go for those fancy plays most of the time to actually get things through. Kickoff is pretty nice. A little shrunken Imi is going to be running around the field for a little bit. Vaughn trying to put that midfield down behind from the get-go. Turret is good, but not enough. Arenado from the other side also going to try and do things. Cyber swipe, dash punch going to be enough to secure the first barrier, but that's still only the first. Strike shot from Fini is nice with the triple take as well, and the card, the misdirection as well. ZerrT misses the punch, unfortunately, just a little bit too delayed on that one to get it through the Kai. Bull Rush, though, a little bit too far away. Misdirection goes wide. Cyber Swipe goes forward. Giga, though, gets the Imi off the back of that. Really nice find by You Already Lose, as we see, again, this open goal from the side. Ooh, and the unfortunate angle as well with the core flip as well from Bell's Bell Ringer. And his name is in the ability for a reason there. So much damage, so much pressure here from the boys against Bozo.
Yeah, that angle off the center, we see it so many times, and it's so rough to see it in this particular game where it felt like the Bozo Bunch had a way back, but after that it went to the hands of Bells perfectly to score that goal, find the KOs, and create a massive advantage for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S as the NATO comes in, but Patient Clears will get it away as Obscure Breads and Gret keep it forward. Vaughn on the top side, trying to find a dribbling plays here. Brett still finding a dribble as Vaughn keeps it forward, but MrZerrtt in position. You Already Lose taking so much damage. A KO target perhaps as this point continues. Another dribbling play forward to Bells. looking for the shot to the bottom side. We'll take one barrier. MrZerrtt needs to find a scoring opportunity here. Goes for a sideways dash punch, trying to catch the in clear, but You Already Lose doesn't fall for it, and Bell stuffs away Threat's core flip. That's a lot of energy burned. That's a lot of resources taken away from the Bozo Bunch. And Vaughn and Bells are just working on their core flips. This energy disadvantage is significant. But MrZerrtt just strike wars the core flip from You Already Lose. If there's a clutch play that needed to happen, it was that, somehow making the game even.
Yeah, evening it up, and that is what they need to start by evening up, but they need to do so much more than just even it up. They need to keep taking wins, especially against X. Every time X gets ahead early, it is not a recipe for success, and Bell is going to bull rush through, but not get there just yet. It's going to be Vaughn that gets it in the end. The core flip, though, from Vaughn is not perfect, doesn't get quite the connection he was hoping for. The X Maximus, the X Tech there for the reset, and that's going to be kills galore as the boys take set 2.
2 sets on the board now. A dominant performance in that last point, and Vaughn is first pick. Fight or Flight is looking very scary. So is the Deadeye on Fini of Obscure Breads, but I think they might choose to forego it entirely. Just go for the Fight or Flight, the additional mobility, and that is exactly what is chosen here for Vaughn. On the other hand, Obscure Breads picking the Stagger Swagger, trying to get some more durability, trying to deny durability away from the other team, and Deadeye does fall to Gret, so it is a pretty solid start for the side of Bozo Bunch, but a solid start isn't what they need. They need something to massively put them back in the game, and although MrZerrtt might be a Dash Julie enjoyer, I'm not sure if that'll be so effective here.
Yeah, I mean, Dash Julie is one of those things that's super polarizing. Some people swear by it, but that is not what you want to happen with a Dash Julie. I mean, Dash is kind of irrelevant there, but immediately dying off the bat is not the way to go. There's only so much you can do, of course. Bells is just so good on this X, it seems. I mean, we were talking about it being a little backwards earlier, we were expecting, Bells on the Julie and Zerrtt on the X, but it seems that Bells is no stranger to the striker either. Zerrtt, though, racing across the field, the glitch pop hitting Vaughn. Very low on HP is Vaughn. Potential kill angle there, but isn't going to be found just yet. The punch from Zerrtt as well, not going to be enough. The flurry was also invested. Vaughn did have to burn the flip, but he is still alive. Bells as well has his own flip here. He already was playing up a little bit here and there too. But Obscure Breads is just winning strike war after strike war. It takes the arrow ult. That's a kill flip though. Getting Bells, knocking him out of the fight, and this is the chance. That's another kill. 2 for the side of the Bozo Bunch. This is what it takes, but the core flip, the counter flip from Zerrtt was perfect though. Down to the frame, the cyber swipe, but Bells is on the field. That's a dead Kai in the goal though. Can Bells hold it down? Vaughn is back on the field now as well. 7 seconds until Kai is over. Zerrtt misses the strike there, unfortunately. Doesn't get the angle into the goal. Obscure Bread's trying to get it forward with misdirection. Then it lands into the goal there incredibly. Obscure Bread's from downtown. What a play.
Oh, but it feels so rough, right? MrZerrtt missing so many strikes. And although Obscure Breads does make it happen against a team like the S.A.D.B.O.I.S, it's difficult. It's really difficult here. And the Bozo Bunch, they do have a brief lead, but they need to be on point from here on out. And MrZerrtt is doing exactly that with the top barrier take.
Yeah, great start to the point. Core flip out of the IME as well. Putting in the work. 2 barriers now going down. Vaughn very low on health. Zerrtt winning a strike war against You Already Lose and Vaughn. The 2v1, no problem for this Julie sends it down to the bottom and puts him up 2-0 in the set. Says, X can scale, sure, but what if we just won anyways?
It's going to be a hard road ahead of them, but MrZerrtt, after that unfortunate point, is deciding to lose no longer. Strike warring 2 of the best players in the game, 2 of the best defensive players in the game, no less. And another flip, another conversion here, looking for the patience this time. Hit away from, but still has another chance, repeating on the bottom side, looking for a dribble. Not quite enough, and gets taken out, comboed by Bells. MrZerrtt didn't even look low the last time I looked over at him, but the damage dump was incredibly well played from the S.A.D.B.O.I.S.
Yeah, they play a lot of control comps, but never underestimate their KO potential either. They have a lot of it. Nibiri CI, very low on health, looking to save the core flip as long as possible. Bells is looking to put an end to that. Cyber Swipe is used, glitch pop as well. The X Maximus comes out, so does the flip. Staying alive, but burning the flip, getting the core forward. Obscure Breads is trying to get things done with the big finish, but in the end, it's just a setup for Bells on the other side of the map. Vaughn, core flip, but not quite enough to get it through just yet. The triple take, the strike shot, but in the end, it is going to be the bewitching beam from Vaughn that gets things done. And that is boys on the board in what is potentially the final set of this game if they just get 2 more.
Yeah, they could do it. They have the meter, they have the passing plays, and of course their team that is no stranger to the comebacks here. as Vaughn once again just controls the core in the midfield, gets it to B.O.I.S, but a missed strike into the terrain means that there's another chance for MrZerrtt on the top side, looking for an opportunity, gets the strike war win, and that's one barrier for the Bozo Bunch already, looking for another here. A flip wasted, so much damage onto Obscure Breads, but that guy has stagger swagger, that guy is not going down.
Yeah, he is definitely not. He is staying alive. Bozo Bunch clinging on with just their fingernails, it seems. But if they get this one last goal, it'll be such a good morale boost for them. So much mental momentum going forward in this series. Just to win even one set, let alone any more. But they lose one barrier. The Giga Blast, though, countered by the turret. The misdirection as well. The big finish gets hit out by B.O.I.S. Triple take is used every single one of these abilities on cooldown. But the misdirection comes off, sends it forward. You already lose. We have the glitch pump as well being used. So many abilities. I almost dead, but dodges out of the bull rush as well. Really nice movement there. Has to burn the core flip in the end. Glitch pump backwards into a self pass. Really nicely done, but they just can't keep the control up. That is a dash punch though from ZerrT. He's trying what he can. The core flip comes out as well. Goes down for the barrier. Gets it. We are deep into overtime now, as we see Obscure Breads using the big finish, but it's countered by Vaughn. Vaughn sending it back down over to Yardy. Lose. Gets it. A little bit of back pass. The Giga Blast makes it the core. Goes so fast here. But MrZerrtt can't get the kill onto B.O.I.S. B.O.I.S is still alive. The core flip used really nice by Obscure Breads, but it's not quite enough. But that is B.O.I.S going down. This is the power play in overtime, but there's two core flips on the side of BOIS. They might have to use them here, but if they don't, it's even more incredible. The strike shot. That is one core flip from Vaughn. Bit of a weird night market angle in the middle, but it's not going to be enough. And the misdirection forces out the core flip from Yardy. Lose. Obscure Breads is just an absolute sniper with this misdirection, hitting it every single time it needs to be. But B.O.I.S bull rushing in through the front, getting a kill with the Aeronado is Vaughn. Bellringer goes backwards, sends it over to ZerrT for just a second. Misdirection stops the bull rush in its tracks. Does not care about it at all. Butching Beam gets it forward. ZerrT gets it through, but Yardy Lose goes all the way back there. Nicely done. ZerrT, though, finds the angle on the bottom. And Bozo is not out of this. Bozo hangs on, gets more than a fingernail. They now have just a finger on the edge. They're climbing up. They're climbing out of the pits.
Definitely a winnable game now, but this draft is not looking too good for them. Plenty of great stuff for the era, and the Juliet is so far down in the pick order. It is a little tough, and Vaughn might even opt to deny. Yeah, they're going to deny the Juliet instead of going for Caster Chrono here, knowing that that is the better option. 1-2 punch going to be taken away. And now the draft that looks so good for Julie is now just an average draft, built different, a Great Awakening, sure, but Knife Session 1-2 punch to double deny really coming in for the Sad Boys, really making it so that the Bozo Bunch have less of a way back into this game. I think they played that incredibly well to take away their win conditions, and I think that the Sad Boys are once again still favored.
Yeah, and I mean, giving Vaughn all of that speed from the knife's edge as well. You know, you hope to not deny your Julie too much, but that is the cost of it. Though, that being said, B.O.I.S does die very quickly. Vaughn almost going off the edge with a big finish as well, but knows his limits a little bit better. Punch not going to find the first barricade, but will find the second barrier. There we go. The triple take as well. Dash punch set up for the Julie. Really nice execution here by the Bozo Bunch. They are in this game. They have reset their mental here, and they're looking to close this up. The core flip from Vaughn is going to say no, not yet, and gets the last barrier standing for the Bozo Bunch. The cyber swipe as well gets a kill. Vaughn is off of the field. Very close to the core flip. Going to use it there. Just sends it up to the top. You already lose. Had the read, but was just a little too slow on the barrage.
MrZerrtt is playing out of his mind. The dash punch flip for the KO, and so many one strike wars in the midfield versus B.O.I.S and Vaughn. MrZerrtt is keeping the core forward and making sure the Bozo Bunch have a way back into this game, but it's still going to be difficult because Vaughn and B.O.I.S are not going down without a fight, and some of the greatest fight that we've seen, because B.O.I.S is looking massive and once again doing so much damage to MrZerrtt, but Vaughn's taking a lot as well, and the midfield core is stopped by the triple take. B.O.I.S is going to have to invest the core flip pretty soon as the KO attempt is coming in possibly, but MrZerrtt yet again on point with the strikes taken out, but with 2 barriers down, I think it's worth it.
The blood sacrifice has been paid. ZerrT has fallen for the barriers. He's back though in just a few seconds here. We have the glitch buff going a little bit short. We have the misdirection as well. So many abilities used just to try and get it past Vaughn. The Giga Blast, though, takes Aimee out. Really nice find by Yardy Lose there. Now it's the negative power play again. They're trying to push it forward. Obscure Bread still has the core flip, still has the misdirection, managing to stall out the play. Aimee is now back on the field in full force, using the glitch pop there to just break up Vaughn's dribble. ZerrT forward with abilities, but it's not going to be out of the red core, and overtime is going to put a stop to the play that he was setting up. Gets it again, though, and Yardy Lose just misses the strike, unfortunately, and Gret found a great angle there in the corner.
I don't think a strike was available. I think that was his fastest available strike. I think he was in lockout. He struck before eject buttoning, and unfortunately, for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S, that wasn't fast enough. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's those tiny fractions of time that can just mean so much. Another dash punch flip from ZerrT to get another kill onto Vaughn. Red cores as well, all over the place. BOIS, though, has the flip, going to use it there. Kill flip with the X Maximus. Just saying, you can kill with flip, I can kill with flip. Doesn't matter. Power play starts up again, but S.A.D.B.O.I.'s really nice with that misdirection. Keeps the barrier alive. Does lose the other one a little bit later, but only one barrier going down. Julia's back on the field now to do a little bit more. Vaughn playing very close to the edge. ZerrT just going to dash punch the core there, trying to keep it out of the control of the opponents there. You already lose has this core flip as well. Is looking to use it if it ever gets to the defense, but it has to get over there first. And finally, oh, that's going to be an Aranado from behind, getting the Aimi off the field. But S.A.D.B.O.I.S just winning strike wars against an X 3 times the size of the Fani. ZerrT going down, though, the flip getting a kill and so much more. But that is going to be X going down. S.A.D.B.O.I.S somehow keeping the goal alive, and the boys just aren't able to get it and finish off of the point.
Yeah, and now they're the ones in a little bit of trouble because it's a 3v2 for a little while longer. They find the barrier, and MrZerrtt is approaching. So much pressure, and the hit stun displaces BOIS just enough, pushes him back enough to hit the core into the net. S.A.D.B.O.I.S, what a play.
What a play. That was, I mean, I was saying it earlier, S.A.D.B.O.I.S is a sniper with this. I mean, the Fani is just so well practiced on this. Just incredible as well. We see the extra special pickup by the Aimi there. Monumentalist potentially from the Fani. You could also go stacks on stacks. There's so many options here, but just I would say a much better draft than the last one.
Yeah, it's looking like it here. Spark of Strength going to be the pickup here for the side of MrZerrtt. A lot of sparks being the later picks in the draft. It's a little bit awkward heading into this last point. It really could go either way. The additional strength from that last point isn't too much. The two players I have my eyes on, though, are GRET and You Already Lose. The stacks on stacks and the extra special Aimi firewall sentries. But one of those players is off the map, and one of those players has just lost a barrier. This point is progressing really fast.
Yeah, the double caster curse there does happen sometimes. The bull rush, not enough to get it through, but a triple bell ringer does so much damage to the enemy team. Vaughn taking a lot of damage in the back end play, with the glitch pop as well, but gets it through with an Aranado. That is one kill onto the Julie. ZerrT again falling in the line of duty. BOIS is the one that has the core and has the goal. Really nice rotation there by the side of BOIS. You know, core's up in the top, get it down to the bottom, get it forward to the X. Just, you know, he's taking out the goalie. He's kind of open. Get it to him. He puts it in. Just really nice team play.
Once again, they're trying to do the same thing here as BOIS goes for possibly a KO, but Vaughn is the one who's incredibly low. One more hit could do it here. He's sitting on death's door as MrZerrtt and GRET approach. A dash punch, anything, a flame flurry, something, a punch misses, and Vaughn's evasion has meant that the regen comes through and the midfielder is back to the unstaggered state. Big opportunity for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S to push forward.
Yeah, but they're being pushed back with that turret as well. The flip doesn't quite go according to plan, but it does get the barrier in the end anyways. So, you know what? It is according to plan at the end of the day. And so they will get the barrier. They have the open goal. BOIS, ZerrT with the punch. And yeah, sure, Aimi dies in the midfield, 2 bells. But at the end of the day, the one that scores the goal is the one that wins in the point. And they tie it up. 2 sets, so 1 point, 1 point.
You Already Lose hasn't come online on stacks yet, though. And that's the threat I'm looking at. But a quick KO by the Bozo Bunch. Vaughn being immediately taken out. That is not what you want if you're the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. BOIS alone in the net. 2 barriers still standing as BOIS valiantly defends, but 2 barriers will not stand for much longer as both go down. S.A.D.B.O.I.S with a flip available. Looking to find another snipe here as MrZerrtt advances up the field, and the clear not quite there. It is GRET credited with the goal as the Bozo Bunch with a substitute brawler are 1 goal away from beating the main roster S.A.D.B.O.I.S.
Yeah, and what an uncharacteristic mistake there from Vaughn. I has gone for that play several points in a row now, the glitch pop off the bat, and getting caught out by it this time is a little unfortunate. I think he thought he could push his limits a little bit farther, a little bit closer to it, but in the end got punished for that in fine fashion as well. ZerrT finding another kill, but BOIS finding the barrier in answer with the investment of those abilities and the positioning. But there we go, the cyber swipe, glitch pop, getting the core forward. ZerrT in the goal, but loses the strike war in the end, has to use that a little too early. BOIS winning the strike war against the core flip of Breads. Glitch Pop, though, gets it over to Zerrt. Vaughn, though, winning the strike ward there. The turret gets it forward, but the Aeronado keeps it in that corner. Zerrt has core flip, so does Bells, but that's a kill flip from Zerrt, and that is no more flips from the Brawlers. Core going to the other side, and the cyber swipe into the core flip from I is not enough to get it. Incredible defense from Yardy Lose and Vaughn on the side. Glitch Pop to try and mess up with the night market angle. Almost a great mix-up. Big finish sending down to the bottom, but it's not quite the perfect angle. Goes into the corner. The Aeronado gonna get the kill with the X Maximus as well. Nice setup by Vaughn. Nice execution by Bells. This core flip as well from Vaughn gets it forward, but unfortunate bounce angle there, doesn't get the barrier and sends it backwards. That's a stall in the play. Aimi is back up in just a couple of seconds there. Bellringer also goes a little bit wide, doesn't find what it needs to. The turret comes out, keeping his core on the top side of the map, but Ai does not execute perfectly on that. Yardy Lose almost dying, but does know the limits in front of this Julie Brawler. The Bellringer gets the barrier. Bells has the core flip as well. Do not forget about that important ability, but it's going to be used just to stun and do damage to the enemy forwards and doesn't actually find the core. Now Zerrt has the core flip, almost going to die, but not quite yet.
Oh.
Tries to go for a fancy dash play, but messes it up in the end. They're trying to get this last little bit into the net. Just this goal is enough, and will the core flip do it? It will! Gret finds it in the last second with the core flip cyber swipe. Whew.
Wow, what an incredible game. And I gotta highlight MrZerrtt coming in for Dropleto. Had a shaky performance earlier on, right? Missed 3 strikes in a row on the goal. Obscure Breads put it in the end. And after that, MrZerrtt just stopped missing. Like, that guy was dash punch flipping Bells. That guy was finding the goals. That guy was out strike warring Vaughn at times. MrZerrtt, what a performance. What a bounce back from the early game. That guy popped off.
He popped off indeed. It was a little shaky at times, but I mean, trading blow for blow with Bells is no mean feat, especially with that support from Vaughn and Yardy Lose. So really well played there, MrZerrtt, getting the KOs necessary. But the other play that I want to highlight there, Obscure Breads, I mean, what a Finny player there. I mean, that's some of the best Finny I've seen. Those misdirections were so on point. You know, the couple of like red cores rocketing into the goal, so much damage as well. I mean, top damage on the team, although hard to beat Bells with that 52k incredible output on the X, but just so much presence as this ranged goal.
Yeah, we're going to go to a very, very short break before Game 2 to fix a few technical difficulties, but we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hello everyone, we're back and we're ready for game 2. Well, the players aren't ready just yet. The character pick ban hasn't quite happened, but we know what map is next. It's the Taiko Temple, the map that the S.A.D.B.O.I.S are so powerful on. Do you think the Bozo Bunch have a shot here?
They've already showed their mettle in that game 1. And let it not be said that, that was an easy match for them. But at the same time, that was also BOIS' map pick. And at this level, map pick matters a little bit less. But all the same, BOIS picked that map going into it. They had some kind of plan for it. So on BOIS' home ground, on BOIS' plan, they still triumphed in the end. So Bozo Bunch in the negative position there was able to triumph. So I think going into this, there's a lot that they can do. And if you are a fan of the Bozo Bunch, you might be getting a lot of channel points.
Yeah, and Dropleto stuck in a collegiate League of Legends match, I believe, which is why MrZerrtt is in here. And if it goes to game 3, I'm not sure if we'll see Dropleto. I don't know, actually. But MrZerrtt has shown that he has what it takes to contend against the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. And on Taiko Temple, though, it's a little bit more chaotic of a map as the S.A.D.B.O.I.S place priority on quite possibly the best pick in the video game, Aimi.
Aimi is definitely a character of all time. One of the most popular ones. Probably one of the most popular one-tricks as well, although these players are obviously not one-tricks. But you get good at Aimi, and there's a lot of things that you can do. She's one of the most expressive characters in the game, just with the ability to, the creativity that you can have with glitch pop and the position of the turret and what you can do with the cyber swipe strike combo as well. There's so much agency that you have on Aimi that she really does allow you to express a lot. You can also just kind of almost A-move her, put turret into goal and hope it works. But these players are obviously a little bit above that level.
Yeah, and with Fini and Asher being locked in, it looks like MrZerrtt is back on the Fini, in which he performed so incredibly well on last game, has historically performed so incredibly well on. MrZerrtt redoing that role, and on the other side, it is Ntaro, and I'm starting to see the beginnings of a lot of damage here for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S, the beginning and the end, honestly. And Aimi's Ntaro, I wonder what they're going to cap this off with, because they have the capability to just absolutely obliterate Bozo Bunch in terms of damage. They'll go for the Juno instead.
Yeah, I mean, it can be just one of those things where, Juno spawns in teammates basically. So, just kill comp them and then have Juno messing around with the core and the rest of the field, keeping control of it, making sure that you don't lose in the meantime. And then once you get that power play secure, then you can start working on other things. So it just gives you so much agency in that in-between time. And then, of course, once you get that power play, having all the extra slimes prevents a lot of that dead zone time when, you get the power play and then the core's not moving for a little bit. It goes to dead zone and, you lose several seconds worth of play that you're waiting for the enemy team to respawn, basically. You don't want that to happen. So many things that Juno can help in that. And, at players of this skill with manual redirecting and stuff can actually have a fair amount of expression on the character too.
Yep, we should be heading into game any second now. But these are two very full-featured compositions. The only question mark I have, really, is this Drakkar from the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. Not the S.A.D.B.O.I.S, the Bozo Bunch, yes. This Drakkar from the Bozo Bunch is a little bit concerning to me, right? I'm not sure how well it'll do, especially into a comp like this. That pick, I think, has the biggest question mark surrounding it going into this game. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, especially with the rapid fire start there. I mean, maybe he takes the agility anyways because speed is good on Drakkar. I mean, everybody. But there is some potential here for that Drakkar to help counter a kill comp, slowing them down with Molten Bolt so people can run away, and also just killing them as well with, Molten Bolt shotgun combos. So it'll be interesting to see how that Drakkar plays into this. There are worlds I can see where it can work, but just seeing that something might be able to work doesn't mean it will work in any case, let alone against players of this caliber.
Yeah, the midfield's going to be controlled by Vaughn, who is on the Juno. Such a full-featured pick. And we'll see how it goes heading into this game. S.A.D.B.O.I.S and the Bozo Bunch. The Bozo Bunch 1-up currently, but anything can happen on Taiko Temple.
Yeah, we see, though, one barrier only so far falling. Really good defense there from the Bozo Bunch. Not mere Bozos here. These are very powerful Bozos. The slime, though, going to almost be the death knell there for the barrier, but not quite with obscure breads and these misdirections. So just a masterclass on Fini. If you are a Fini player, study this game, study this man. Just absolutely put respect on him for this amount of Fini play. The misdirections have been on point pretty much every single time. We see the strikes in the midfield trying to get things done, but both teams are just so good at the control there. Finally, though, the Molten Bolt is what gets it through. Really nice play to the slime and the shotgun. The Asher is almost dead, but is still fighting. Gonna die to that Zentaro, but a lot of damage gets put onto Vaughn there in the meantime. I has the ability to shotgun up the top here with that rapid fire, I believe, on the car. Going to be able to just use the shotgun so often. Core flip out of Vaughn, does get out of the big finish and secures the one barrier. Now it's an open goal. Core flip out of I there, gets it forward, down to ZerrT, who actually puts it off the barrier, up with the barrier beam, but not quite enough just yet to get it in the goal. They're trying to. The shotgun goes a little bit wide. Bells goes forward with the core flip as well. Use the passive there, but it's not enough. Obscure Breads is able to defend that really nicely. Yard to lose goes up. Misdirection hits into the I knee, but that is I going off the field there. The triple take isn't enough to stop the core. It's going too fast, just goes right through the pass splitter, though. Really good usage of the ability there. Separates the Zentaro, but that is going to be Juno sending it through the Zentaro ult, and Zentaro ult is going to be the thing to put it in the end. And that is quite a nice first point.
Yeah, a bit chaotic too. A lot of the time the core went into the hands of Gred, and there were a lot of solid scoring attempts, but this point might be a little different because it is no longer point one. MrZerrtt finds the KO instead of just almost a KO like in the first point. And with this power play, they could pour on a lot of damage onto Bells here.
Yeah, they are trying to get the kill, though they're not quite able to. The big finish, just not saving the barrier there. Was very close to it, but not enough. The Molten Bolt gets the core, just slows it down a little, gets it around where it needs to go. That is one more barrier falling as well. Bell's missing that Yai Rush as well. Glitch Pop gets it forward, but ZerrT puts it back. Obscure Breads trying to get things done as well. Just keeps going back and forth. ZerrT almost dying with the core flip there, but he's going to hang on to it for a little bit longer with the shotgun as well. The passive from Bells is enough.
Finding the goal, despite the flip available from MrZerrtt. If the S.A.D.B.O.I.S can sweep this one, they are in such a good spot because, I mean, this meter is just not being allowed to be used by the Bozo Bunch. MrZerrtt trying to find an opportunity here. Might go for a punch dash flip or a dash punch flip or something here. Goes for the scoring attempt, and Obscure Bread's the one who finds the snipe onto the barrier, but it's traded back by Bells. If the Bozo Bunch want to win, they need to score quickly here.
Yeah, they need to get it done. The triple take, though, almost sending it the own barrier. The misdirection, getting it forward, but again, not through. Every single time the Bozo Bunch is running out of steam, having to go through so many abilities, so many slimes. By the time it gets over there, they don't have anything left. The slime, the eye rush, everything is used in this corner, but it actually gets sent off of Bouncer and goes all the way back. Kind of a back to square one moment there. We have Asher going off the side of the map as well, and that is not good for the Bozo Bunch.
Bounce off to the top side. A bit of a weird bounce, but you already lose. Doesn't get confused by it this time. Taiko Temple's been a map for a while now. And Vaughn passing up to the top side as Bells is low, is in a lot of trouble, but gets the barrier while going down. And with flips available on both members, this power play doesn't feel so powerful for the Bozo Bunch.
Yeah, they're trying to do what they can, but it's not quite enough. The shotgun just a little bit short, but oh, the unfortunate bounce from the audience means that it is just going to be kind of an own goal there. Drakkar gets the credit, but it was really just a lot of pressure on Yardy Lose there. I think he's trying to go for a corner bounce, so you hit the top left corner of that middle barrier and sort of bounces up and to the right a little bit, but he missed that, unfortunately.
Yardy Lose has a bit of a history with Taiko Temple. One of the most iconic clips of NASL is him watching the ball bounce around like 4 different drums and own barriering. So unfortunate to see history repeat itself, but sometimes it just has to be a bit of poetry in action here, as once again Vaughn and Bells are playing quite well in the damage game, but again, MrZerrtt manages to find Vaughn for 2 points now in this set.
But traded back is Drakkar, and at a little bit of a disadvantage as well. Juno is almost on the field. Drakkar still 5 seconds out, but ZerrT is pushing it so far up. Obscure Breads as well. The big finish, unfortunately, only sending it backwards, and the core going into the goal. Set 1 for the boys.
The Juno really getting a lot of value here. It was powerful on the defense with the extra slime, giving more clear options available to You Already Lose. There it is powerful on the offense, denying a clear from MrZerrtt in perfect forms, and Taro has hit the building. What a powerful awaken to give BOIS even more cooldowns to work with, especially in the corner, where he is usually 1v3ing the entire Bozo Bunch. And this time he might succeed, because perfect form is going to give him secondary and primary back.
Yeah, that is going to be brutal to go up against, but that is going to be stacks on the Fini for more speed, more forward pressure. On the other end, though, missile propulsion on that Aimee, so much range on that turret, on that glitch pop. Aimee will basically never be out of position ever again. As long as she has one ability up, she can reach almost anywhere in the map to affect it. And of course, as well, the Stagger Strike going to the Juno makes it a little harder to kill her. And MrZerrtt, though, that adrenaline rush, they're looking for blood.
If they can get the KOs they were getting on Vaughn, that would be very helpful, but I don't think they're finding any angles, because right now it's all S.A.D.B.O.I.S. They're finding the passing plays, they're finding the barriers, and BELZ is sitting comfortably in the corner with so many cooldowns to work with. MrZerrtt getting one barrier here, trying to go for a bounce play on another, but Gret being staggered is so difficult for their offense because they need this Ricard.
Yeah, they do indeed. And even if he's not being killed right now, he's so far out of the play just to try and regenerate a little bit. He's trying to go invisible. The misdirection hits BELZ, and it's going to be two brawlers dying on other sides of the field, kind of diagonally opposite each other. Poetry, again, you mentioned it earlier, just the brawlers kind of dying. I mean, I guess Drakar's not really a brawler, but he is a brawler. Misdirection as well, hitting the core as well really nicely. Gret is back, though, so is BELZ. Glitch pop, the core flip from Aimee, not enough, and the core is just going to go for another cycle around the map.
Once again, now overtime hitting. Now this Juno, so scary. A flip in front of the net from Vaughn. So many slimes to work with as well, but MrZerrtt this time has a good clear angle and makes sure that Vaughn cannot solo score, but Vaughn gets it past. Strike shot burn from Obscure Breads. A passing play blocked away by MrZerrtt. The defensive positioning has been very good from this brawler so far. Not something you see too often from the brawlers, as the slime once again restricts the midfield a little bit longer. The glitch pop accelerates the core backwards. Tough situation for You Already Lose, and Gret will be the one to sink it in. The Bozo Bunch getting the first goal of this set.
Bozo Bunch on the board. And just by such a narrow margin as well. You saw I had a super narrow margin there, but just saw the angle, that one little fraction of You Already Lose being a pixel too far down, and Juno being out of position on the bottom. Just really well executed on that. Juno, though, jumping around, putting all these slimes everywhere. So much damage as well on the Bozo Bunch. This is not a good point so far for them, but they are alive so far. They are on the other side of the map. They're trying to get things done. The strike shot keeps it forward, but I is very low and dead. It doesn't even bounce off there. I think that was a glitch pop after the cyber swipe to maybe secure the kill there, prevent that bounce from saving him, but one barrier goes down. And Bozo Bunch kind of coming back. Never mind. Zerrtt going a little bit too far forward, and Breads being a little bit far forward as well. You Already Lose getting the credit for that one just as it sneaks on by.
That's a bit tough, because otherwise the Bozo Bunch have been playing excellently these past two games. Rare misstep from MrZerrtt as the Juno Slimes continue their onslaught. A bounce to the top side sets up the S.A.D.B.O.I.S so early. And they're so efficient in these barrier takes now. They've truly scaled. And if the S.A.D.B.O.I.S have scaled after winning one set, you're in a lot of trouble.
That you are. It is already so hard to go against them, but when they are ahead, it is even worse. The core flip from Zerrtt is really nice. The slime, though, from Juno just stalls things out, but stays alive for now, just barely, trying to get a little bit of damage back, but the shotgun as well is going to go wide. The big finish, the misdirection, everything invested there, but it doesn't get the barrier. Still saying one barrier to none as a crazy angle. BELZ as well, finding the goal. What a just few seconds for the boys there to just 180 things instant.
What a redirect from Vaughn, like you mentioned, off of the corner. Sets it up perfectly, finds the barrier. BELZ getting in there. And with that, they have built up a ton of meter on both the brawler and the goalie. BELZ on a flip now, taken out by a single shotgun from Gret. I didn't think that was in the kill range. I didn't think that was in the melee hitbox of the shotgun, but it was. Two barriers almost taken, and two barriers confirmed by Gret, who finds the strike afterwards as well. The Bozo Bunch, a lightning fast point.
Yeah. I mean, I said the boys 180'd the point, but Bozo may have 180'd the set off of that one. Just 14 seconds, I think it was, maybe 16 to go all the way through the boys. Just not some random team, the boys. And just incredible play. We have the big finish. We have the barrier beam. So many things being invested, but Vaughn is on top of them all so far as well. MrZerrtt's losing one barrier, but the second stands for now. Bell's taking a lot of damage to get this aggression. If he gets the barrier, it's well worth it, but so far it's not going to pan out. One barrier lost in the back end of the play, and for all that health, he's going to pick up one orb. He's still kind of in dark territory with it, but for now, he will be safe.
MrZerrtt now on the bottom side, looking for an opportunity, but Vaughn just sends it away from the play. But MrZerrtt, adrenaline rushing, finds the KO exactly when it matters most. And now Gret and MrZerrtt set up in the top corner. The Zentaro will fend it away for a moment, but MrZerrtt going for a bounce play. No, MrZerrtt, that was not when you wanted to go for a bounce play, and that gives Yuri Luz a way out. Vaughn says thank you because he knows that was MrZerrtt having a shot on goal, but instead it is denied away. Gret, though, still staying alive, but the core goes around the world, finds the barrier, and the S.A.D.B.O.I.S are finding a point out of absolutely nothing right now.
They're trying to get it. It's not quite there yet. The self-pass from Yuri Luz is nice to set up a little bit more play, get it to neutral territory there so he can actually set up a proper attempt on the goal. But the Cyber Swipe, not enough to get it forward. Zerrtt going for a dribble on the bottom here, trying to get it past Vaughn. The slime is nice. Gets it through over to Bells, who gets the eye rush, gets the ultimate as well, but it's defended as well. The Molten Bolt down to the slime as well. Purebred's taking a lot of damage in the goal, but not enough to get the kill just yet. Triple take, gets it up. Zerrtt with the core flip up to the top, and that is what he wanted to do not too long ago. Was a little bit dicey in the middle there, but they got it in the end.
That's the story of MrZerrtt, right? When we think that he's trolling, when we think that he's messing up, he fixes his mistakes. He gets it done. He secures the point. He secures the set. And now a big draft for the Bozo Bunch. A ton of speed on the board here. Egoist, the pick of choice for Gret. Going to add to the scoring power a ton. This Ricard is going to be able to go from the midfield all the way to the scoring position in an instant with flip available. But the awakening that I'm looking at the most is that explosive entrance, which falls all the way down to Bells, unleashing the Zentaro, giving so much more mobility in the midfield.
Yeah, I'm not going to call it a full mistake. Maybe there is some rationale behind not picking that up and denying it at the very least, but it is definitely a little bit sad to have the Zentaro unlocked like that. You can see Bell's already putting it to good use, getting all the way into the corner there with the ult as well. That's one berry going down. Did take a lot of damage. That's one of the other things. Asher picked up a lot of damage. That Spark of Strength already has the speed as well, so we're going to see some sparking. Mayor of Sparkington over there on the Asher, also getting the berry with the big finish help from Fani, and that is, you know, the game still in the Bozo's favor for now. Gret as well on the top side trying to set up this play on the goal.
Trying to find a little bit more as the triple take halts the S.A.D.B.O.I.S offense. And once again, the midfield is being walled out by Gret, who's taking a lot of damage. If this KO can be found, that would be absolutely huge, and it is the KO combo coming in from Bells. Another KO confirmed by Bells onto the goalie this time. Purebred's goes down, and Bells trying to confirm the goal as well. Not quite enough here. MrZerrtt in an impossible situation manages to get it out of there for now, as Gret now chasing a KO onto Bells possibly. Vaughn now with a flip available almost, and Bells will pick it up for the goal. Oh, that was almost a hold by the Bozo Bunch, but the S.A.D.B.O.I.S had that one under control.
Yeah, it was really dicey for the boys, but they got it in the end. Zerrtt had an incredible hold there, holding out until everyone was back, but then they let it get to their heads a little bit. They eased up a little bit too much, and you can't ease up against the boys that much. You have to really be on top of your game. Bread's taking so much damage off the Zentaro there as well.
That damage pressure is coming in. MrZerrtt also not long for this world. Bounced by the slime. Comboed off the map. The glitch pop is enough to find the KO, and Purebred has to run away. This is huge for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S.
And there it goes. Another 2-0 lead for the boys here. And the Bozos not looking as good off of this. Bell's putting in so much work with the Centauro, doing so much damage, backed up by You Already Loses Aimi, and even the Juno as well, not doing nothing either, even in the damage front, which she's not really known for, but can do a surprising amount, though. Misdirection Shotgun, though, putting Vaughn in a little bit of dire straits there. Bell's not quite landing the combo he wanted to, but the bounce off the drum there will mean that one barrier falls. Second one still alive, though, for now. Gret trying to get something fancy done in the corner. Will find the barrier in the end. Bells misses the eye rush again. The misdirection goes down as well. Lift up Cyber Swipe. That is going to be one dead Aimi, though. Teleport a little too far forward, a little too close to the sun there. And MrZerrtt trying to find something, uses the pass splitter there, but they're not quite able to finish things off. Bells has core flip now as well, and Aimi is back on the field. They got the kill, but they couldn't really get too much with it. And Bells as well, sending it through that barrier, but MrZerrtt, great glitch pop from Yardy Lose, manages to defend that when it was almost completely lost. The strike shot, though, nice barrier plays, misdirection as well. They're trying to get something on the shotgun, just a pixel too short there from getting the goal. Barrier beam as well is not enough. Zerrt's trying to get something done, but he's not big enough to reach with the strike there either. BRAWLER'S is trying to reach from the backline, but it's not enough. We're deep into overtime now, and the core is just going so fast.
Bell's dribbling play, looking for core control here, looking for a strike on the core. The slime not quite reaching it as Yardy Lose pushes it forwards. And once again, Vaughn with the flip available. MrZerrtt looking for a read. And again, it just goes around the world as Vaughn trying to find some setup here. Blocked away by Gret and the big finish. And once again, it's back to a really awkward state for both teams.
Yeah, they have to invest so many cooldowns just to get it across, but in the end, BRAWLER'S has enough cooldowns to put it right through the triple take, and BRAWLER'S just was not expecting that. BOIS take a 3-0 set here and a lead overall in the game. Of course, though, Bozo taking game one, they still have a little bit more comfort zone, but I mean, that's a Zentaro with a few options there, and something tells me that Asher might not get the spark she wants here.
Yeah, it's just going to be denying away, probably a double deny on the Sparks, and it's pretty helpful too because Spark of Resilience is so important for staying alive. And guess what the S.A.D.B.O.I.S are doing? A ton of damage. Oh, Spark of Resilience given over by Vaughn? I'm not sure if that was the pick that he wanted to make here, because that means that the Asher is now very, very bulky.
Yeah, you have a tank Asher. She is bulky, she does damage, she's even super fast as well with that. Sure, she doesn't have the cooldown, but I mean, I think that Asher has enough just from striking to be able to do a lot in the face of so many different things, and it's going to be tougher to kill her, going to be easier for her to kill you. Bell's almost dead right off the bat here, does use the ult to survive, and does get a little bit more health back, but does go into the goal anyways. That's a KO for the Bozo Bunch. The turret, though, from Aimee doing so much work. BRAWLE'S trying to defend here. Aimee overstaying the eject button as well, almost dying to Zerrtt, but not finding the kill, but overstayed way too long. The barrier goes down as payment for that, but BRAWLE'S unfortunately missed the misdirection, and that's going to be one barrier going down. That's going to be Drakar going off the map as well, and the Bozo Bunch looking really good for a little bit, not quite so good in the back half of this point.
Oh, but a good flip by MrZerrtt, who is just so powerful right now. Gets the Adrenaline Rush reset is even faster, finds another KO, another Adrenaline Rush proc, and that Spark draft might have been the mistake that sealed the game in the favor of the Bozo Bunch, because MrZerrtt is unstoppable.
Unstoppable indeed. It is so brutal going up against this Asher. I mean, Asher's already bad enough, but when she is faster and stronger and tougher to kill, what can you do against that? A barrier going down, great play by the Drakar on the bottom side of this map. Does take a ton of damage for it, and BRAWLE'S goes into the goal. That's one barrier. Almost two. That is two with Bells. Cyber Swipe with the core flip as well, but Zerrtt able to get that last strike, but the slime with the Deadeye managing to kill, and that's an ace. All members going into the goal with the core shortly to follow.
Well played by the S.A.D.B.O.I.S, and that's the power that they picked up in that last draft, right? Vaughn with the Deadeye, if he manages to get a lot of slimes into the enemy goal box, that is a ton of damage. That glitch pop actually just takes out Zerrtt. Forget about the 3 Spark Asher. If you just KO the Asher, then you don't have to worry about it, and BRAWLE'S is taking so much damage as well here.
Yeah, but they do lose one barrier in the back half of the play. Not quite two, thanks to a good strike from Vaughn there. Misdirection comes through Path Splitter as well. Slimes countered by that. Zerrtt not able to get that last final strike war to get the barrier. Bell's trying to get this barrier. Blink forward with the turret as well from Aimee to secure that, and that is going to be the boys getting a goal 1 point away from tying up the games.
They have a big opportunity here to close this one out, but MrZerrtt has the tools in his hands. He does have the triple spark. The Bozo Bunch are capable of winning this right here, continuing this game, sending it to a set 5. It all comes down to whether they can execute here, but it's going to be difficult.
Very difficult, but with misdirections landing onto Vaughn and getting him low, but the cyber swipe forward from Aimee is really nice. Vaughn trying to get things done as well. The glitch pop hits the Drakar instead of the core, and Drakar leaves the range of that Zentaro ult as well. But they're not finding the barrier. They are not staying alive either. Drakar goes off the map. BRAWLE'S is super far up. Bells gets one barrier. He's in front of the goal as well with the turret as well with core flip just for style points. Bells wins the game for the boys in flying fashion, and I think you were absolutely that explosive entrance going to the Zentaro was such a game changer from the moment it got picked up.
Yeah, and not just that, I think the biggest game changer was the character draft from the Bozo Bunch. I just think that as well as Gret played the Drakkar, I don't think it was the pick. I think it looked a little bit completely outclassed by the Juno in terms of what the characters did. And the composition in general, MrZerrtt was playing incredibly, BRAWLER'S was playing incredibly, but the Drakkar just didn't have the tools to do what needed to be done that game.
Yeah, it's very hard to sometimes say how much a character does, but I think I do agree. There were a lot of moments where Drakkar looked really good, but when you really look at the plays that were happening, it's like, is there really no other character that could do these same things and do them better or faster or more often? And I think something else could potentially have helped out the Bozo Bunch in that game. I don't think Drakkar is necessarily a bad pick. It didn't hurt them, but that sort of opportunity cost of not having something else in that seat. Something like, a lot of the times, the Drakkar shotgun was just a little bit too short. Something like an S.A.D.B.O.I.S to just have a little bit extra range to go through some of these things. The piercing shot to go through enemies would have helped so much in so many of those situations, and something Drakkar really couldn't have done.
Well, yeah, and also, the lack of range that Drakkar has really came into play. I think the biggest stat of comparison, right, is Vaughn had, I think, almost 100 more redirects than Gret did, which is unfortunately a massive midfield difference in the results. And a lot of that was the characters being played. But as we head on to the next map, we're heading onto AtLab, a very, very neutral map, but once the map that the S.A.D.B.O.I.S absolutely dominated, it's going to be an interesting one.
But we do see Zerrtt, good as he has been subbed out. We have Dropleto. I believe this is the Bozo Bunch's main roster, if I'm not mistaken there. And that will mean that we're going to game 3 with 2 main rosters. Zerrtt, thank you for your service. You absolutely killed it in this. But now let's see what Dropleto has in store for us.
Yeah, I gotta say it again. MrZerrtt, what a performance. Almost got them across the finish line. And of course, in that last game, the Asher was not the problem. That guy got 3 sparks. Zerrtt was getting double adrenaline rush procs. A fantastic performance for MrZerrtt in NASL. But Dropleto is here. The synergy is back between the midfield and the brawler. Maybe it will be enough to pull them over the finish line in this tied series.
Maybe indeed. We'll have to find out. We are going to AtLab, and it's going to be a stacks on stacks hotshot start, and this is going to be a lot of core control coming out, I do believe.
Yeah, the hotshot's also scary, right? The Bozo Bunch, good on the bright side for them. They are blue side. They can be the ones to pressure the Juno pick. And I think the Juno priority is going to be pretty decent here, but I don't think that the Bozo Bunch like playing Juno, so there's a good chance they just ban it away. There's also high priority on the IME pick. Gret has picked that very, very often in recent days. And I think that the S.A.D.B.O.I.S just have a better way to navigate this draft based on what they usually pick.
Yeah, but with that thing about the IME, I mean, if you get I on that IME, it really will, like, he really will be able to do a lot on that. I feel like if that IME hadn't been denied last game, we likely would have seen the Bozo Bunch tearing up the midfield with that IME pick. So I think you're absolutely right that Juno is something that's really good, but they might just ban away the Juno and first pick that IME because it has been quite the contentious character in this series. So lot of pick a ban theorizing to do, and it's really a fun thing to do in Mega Strikers of just what are the game plans, because we could see something completely out of pocket. I don't think Octavia is particularly meta right now, but Gret has been known in the past at least to play a fair bit of that. So just slam the stacks on stacks, and Space Glide Octavia is technically on the table.
I think another thing to consider is this start, right? Oddshot is pretty game warping, and that also means that goalies like the Atlas have a very, very easy time, relatively speaking, of dealing with all of that core speed. On the other hand, something to be concerned about is what the S.A.D.B.O.I.S are going to be picking. Oh, wait, the Bozo Bunch, they don't ban the Juno. Are they going to pick the Juno? Or are they daring the boys to not ban the IME? Is this a way to try and guarantee themselves the IME and trade Juno over to the S.A.D.B.O.I.S? That just might be it here. This first pick's going to tell us a lot about the game.
That it will, but I do rate the Rune ban pretty highly. Rune with that hotshot can get a lot of work done, so I don't think it's a bad ban either. And if you know that they can play Rune, and I mean, these guys can play almost anything in the game. They have their signature picks, of course, but, throw them on just about anything and they'll still clap pretty well. That's going to be the Juno first pick. You absolutely called it. You are inside their heads, and I think it's a really good first pick to start us off.
The S.A.D.B.O.I.S, though, not too happy with the R1, R2, the pick 2 and 3 being the Aimee and the Kai. Aimee, definitely one of the highest priority picks in the entire video game for the goalie of You Already Lose, most likely here, while Vaughn will be on the Kai, the pick where he has had so many legendary performances on. On the other side, Dropleto is back, and he is back on the X, combined with the Finny that Obscure Breads has been picking this entire series. I think there's so many brawlers open for Bells here. Will it be the iconic Juliet?
Could be Julie, could be the Zentaro. You really could see so many different things. It's going to be the Zentaro in the end. Solid pickup there. I mean, especially if you just played it last game, you're sort of warmed up on the character. You don't have to adjust or anything like that. So definitely a good pickup there. But yeah, one of the things that you mentioned, that Finny being picked up every single game. Somehow it's just kind of slept by when Breads has really been killing it on the Finny. And also been getting it kind of last in the pick order. So I almost would have loved to see a deny from the side of BOIS there, but they decided to just leave it in the play, leave Breads to do his thing. And I would almost say that that's a mistake, letting Breads get that much power.
It's difficult too, because the draft, you only get one ban in Omega Strikers, and they decide to use it on Dropleto's Rasmus. And I think that's because Rasmus is such a big threat, and combined with Juno, the core control duo just takes over the midfield completely. So it's a bit of an awkward draft. Instead, with the X, I think they have a lot more ways to play around the relatively immobile character, but Dropleto started as an X main. That guy is always going to be a very, very good player of this X. We'll see how it goes.
That we will. Loading into this final game, whichever way it goes. They've tied things up. We're going to game 3, of course, or already in game 3, I should say. The cyber swipe from You Already Lose. They're trying to start off with a bang, but it's going to take a little bit longer to get that first barrier, though. Still under 10 seconds, not the worst we have seen, but might be a little bit of a longer first point, which I do always like to say it, bodes good news for the rest of the game. Bells, though, very low on health, and one barrier traded back on the other side.
Dropleto and Zerrtt pushing forward, and this hotshot Juno is going to be such a threat. The S.A.D.B.O.I.S had to really be thinking about how to navigate this draft. This is what they decided on, but when the hotshot start came up and when the Bozo Bunch were blue side, I think it was already a little difficult for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S in terms of the RNG. And Dropleto, what a dribble off the top bumper. Just completely flicks the core. Wow, what a shot.
Yeah, that was so well done there. I think it was the X-Tech as well, the reset on the strike. So beautiful play there from an X main. These are the things, I was talking about studying Breads earlier with the Finny. Study Dropleto on this X as well. It's just so much good info in this series. The big finish getting it forward a little bit, but goes up to Bells in the end. Vaughn trying to get it into the barrier. Will find it in the end. A lot of damage, though, core flip from Dropleto used to hit Bells and Vaughn, but the black hole kill secures Dropleto. And the slime trying to buy the place, but one little slime is not going to be the same as a giant X that's able to just brawl them out. But Misdirection finds it to the other side of the field and buys a lot of time for X to get back on the pitch.
Speaking of time, 20 seconds left until overtime, and overtime not even required for that one, but a flick here from Bells, immediately stolen away by Gret. So much damage onto Bells as well, and Vaughn is staggered. Bozo Bunch in full control of this point. As the staggering comes in, Vaughn in a lot of trouble. Bells, no meter available, not even a single evade, and Dropleto with the dash strike. This is the Bozo Bunch we know and love, and they are dominating so far.
Dominating indeed. And don't forget that this is also early X. He has not scaled. He has not gotten those clutch awakenings. This is just first point X doing what first point X usually doesn't get to do. But Dropleto piloting this striker is so powerful on it. But 2 barriers go down. The boys are not going quietly on this when You Already Lose, playing super far up, using the turret as well, trying to get things done, trying to get that extra forward pressure that you need to get through this Juno Finny combo there. Big finish as well, going to buy a little bit more time. Obscure Breads might have to use the core flip here, but is trying to hold on to it. Ooh, the bell ringer makes the Zentaro little teleport tech, hitting him right as he's doing it just to get that little bit of extra knockback to get the Zentaro kill, I don't know if there's a name for that, but it is definitely just a really good move by Dropleto there.
Yeah, I think the commonly used term is just getting Zentaro'd, because Bells got hit at the start of the dash and the knockback carried over, but that's the goalie going down, sniped off the edge. You already lose out of the play, and now just a passing play could do it. The hotshot core speed is overwhelming. All they need is one opportunity, but Vaughn does have flip, but to the top side, a mix-up, and they will stay alive so far, but Breads has flipped so many ways to save it away, so many ways to play this overtime situation, as Breads refuses to get hit stun, keeps the point going. Bells, though, what a dash into a redirect to secure the goal for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S to keep them in the set.
In the set and on the board, Boys not going quietly. They will not be swept at the very least in this, but Bozo Bunch has been looking very dominant in this point overall. Giga Blast goes a little bit wide, and that's not what you want to see from the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. You want them to be using every ability super efficiently, because if they don't, you are just going to get attritioned. You're going to have no abilities when your opponent has their entire kit. Core Flip, though, used from I is not enough to save the barrier. Vaughn very low on health. They're trying to get the kill, but they're not able to get it. One barrier, though, taken. Big Finish gets it over back to the other side, catches the rebound on it. Misdirection hitting the core as well instead of Bells is nice to keep it forward. Either hit the core, hit the person. Either way, you're kind of winning.
Pretty stable mid-game here, but Gret's stagger bar is what I'm looking at right now. If there's some damage pressure put on to the Juno, this could be the S.A.D.B.O.I.S bringing their way back into this game. But Vaughn's the one who's getting sniped right now as Gret gets chipped down a little bit, but picks up an orb. No, actually dodges away, but in the process of dodging away, Bells is the one who gets core control. They manage to save it for now, but the barriers are down, and the Bozo Bunch might be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, they're trying to get this last barrier, but they just don't have what it takes right now. Dropleto finally wins the necessary strike war, and we are in overtime, so there are going to be red cores all over the place. The strike shot gets it forward, but Bells tries to set up a play. Not going to find it, and Breads does have a core flip available again. The red core, countered by glitch pop. Really nice from You Already Lose. Very well practiced on this IME. Another core flip out of the IME here. Dropleto trying to get things done as well. Almost has a core flip of his own. Might not even need it, but doesn't quite find the angle there. The Giga Blast sends it forward as well. The misdirection, but the core flip catch is really nice, gets it over the X, and the glitch pop is not perfect. Great play by the Bozo Bunch there. Obscure Breads with a perfect core flip over to the X, and X with the perfect down clear there, down attempt, down shot there. And X getting this first pick in the draft has things like perfect form available, Catalyst as well, is going to be the perfect form pickup.
Such a scary draft now. I think Catalyst is going to be passed down to the Zentaro here, denied by Juno. But so many other strong awakenings, spark scaling, getting started. Single spark on first draft is such a powerful pickup here. We'll see if anyone goes it. But Aerials might be the pickup as well. You Already Lose, trying to get some more agency across the map, because the S.A.D.B.O.I.S need to win early. When it goes late, the core speed, IME is not very good at dealing with a lot of core speed. You have to be so precise with the glitch pop, and sometimes it isn't enough either. So they need to win early game. They need to take these barriers quickly, and You Already Lose needs to find presence before overtime hits.
Yeah, and not only do they need to win early in the point, they also need to win early in the game because of this X. Like, he's already got perfect form. If you let him get more awakenings that are, good for X, he's just going to be even more of an unstoppable monster than he already is. And so you really are on such a crunch here as the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. The later this goes, both in point time and sets, it is going to be so unfortunate for you. But they're putting a lot of pressure onto Zentaro, and that's Bells going off the pitch.
I thought Gret was going to die there, but the Juno stays alive. The flip in from Dropleto, the strike afterwards, after the bull rush. Oh wait, that was some really interesting interactions actually. The turret, the firewall sentry, stunned Dropleto in place, letting him get an in-play strike after the bull rush.
I think he might have connected with the core just before to get the strike reset.
Yeah, but the turret kept him in place, because otherwise he would have a strike reset inside the goal, but instead he had it at the perfect place to find the second strike. So the firewall sentry actually helped Dropleto, but forget about that because the S.A.D.B.O.I.S have both barriers.
Yeah, one barrier though going down in response. Bells though, doesn't matter, finds the goal. 18 seconds. They took that last point personally and have vowed now to close those out, to take your words to heart and say, oh, right, win early. We got you. Don't worry about it.
Yep, and another flip out from You Already Lose. This time taking out the Brawler. Dropleto going down. A really awkward KO. The Bozo Bunch trying to hold on here, but it's going to be difficult. No barriers taken yet, though. Amazing defense by Obscure Breads and Gret, but so much damage. Greeting the flip is Obscure Breads, unfortunately. And now in the corner, it's an impossible defense as both barriers go down.
Yeah, the slime is almost enough, but there's just way too much pressure there. There was a chance of a clear, but BRAWLER'S was there with everything in the world there. Still has so much of the kit available, and that's one of the big things that we're starting to see boys do, is get across the field with minimal abilities and then have so much available to take out these barriers. But the Bell Ringer kills the X. They do trade one barrier on the other side. The core flip is used by Bells. Can they get it forward? Can they capitalize on this power play? Dropleto misses the strike, and the glitch pop gets it cleared, and now Kai's back on the field. One barrier for one barrier into kill. That's two, though. Bull Rush excellently executed. The strike shot as well. But two barriers on both sides. The BOIS sets it up for Bells, but it's not quite enough. The ultimate from the Zentaro as well. The red core speed, the cyber swipe as well. The Bell Ringer, everything is being used, even glitch pop and slimes. They're all over the place, but this core is still in the field.
Vaughn pushing forward, stunned away by S.A.D.B.O.I.S just enough, as now overtime's going to take over before too long. They got to be so careful. As you already lose once again pushing forward, lingering for a while, trying to find an opening. Dropleto building up a flip. This X has flip available, and this is an open net situation. Trying to push up to the top side, but flip's a little too close to the wall. The angle is a little too obvious, and you already lose with the flip available now. It's going to have a pretty solid time defending this one, as S.A.D.B.O.I.S has no cooldowns left.
Yeah, we also saw you already lose go forward with the cyber swipe and the core flip, but it wasn't quite enough. The back pass as well from Vaughn was almost good, but it's not quite enough just yet. The passive from Bell's not enough either. The turret getting sort of bent around with the black hole, the core not going into it. MrZerrtt trying to get something done. He almost has core flip available. He's trying to get it to this X. He goes for a dribble, goes for the slime. The red cores are all over the place, and this is bad as well for Fani. We were talking about Aimee earlier, but Fani also in a similar place as a projectile-based goalie. There's only so much you can do, so quickly you can predict, and now S.A.D.B.O.I.S tying it up with a set of their own.
And big awakenings now. My eyes are on that fighter flight and that knife's edge, but also the stagger swagger, because both teams are putting on a pretty decent chunk of damage. The first pick could go anywhere here. Maybe the twin drive for the eject button presence, but no, just waiting, trying to pass down a good pick here as fighter flight goes to Dropleto. He's going to be very happy about that, as stagger swagger denied away as well from the entire team of the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. But Vaughn picking Chrono Boost might be the biggest pick of this draft. That speed boost from Kai might give the S.A.D.B.O.I.S exactly the immediate power they need to continue winning this game.
Yeah, you're looking at that. I'm also looking at that knife's edge from Bells, though. That is incredible. There's going to be so much more damage coming out here. But that is if they can do it, because there's also, with the fighter flight on the X, he's going to be running around with that stacks on stack speed on top of it. And not to mention the, Catalyst, Stagger, Swagger, Juno. It's like you can do a lot of damage. It's just very back and forth here. That's a S.A.D.B.O.I.S double, though, really nicely executed against the boys themselves. And Dropleto, absolute just destruction of the goalie box there. Charge in, use X Maximus, just do X things.
Yeah, really fast strike reset there too, predicting the clear. And once again, the core speed, something to be worried about, because MrZerrtt is just there with the slime every single time, taking so much damage, but dodging away from the last EI rush. And that's so important, because MrZerrtt is already healed up with a stagger striker now. Otherwise, they would probably be staggered by now. But Bells flip in front of the net, trying to defend, and Dropleto, Breads, and MrZerrtt all together defend the point-blank flip from Bells. But the passing plays are still continuing to slime, not quite there to mix them up. A crazy defense here, but that's a Fani going down, and Bells is low, but I don't think they can find the KO here, because they're too scared on the defense. They need to find a way, but the barrage will be enough.
Yeah, that Kai barrage can be so brutal to defend against, especially when you have to be careful of up clears when there's a Zentaro there and Aimee behind, and tying it up. I mean, it is exactly tied. One game, one set, 1 point to 1 point. These teams are absolutely neck and neck.
Close game so far, but these flips from the S.A.D.B.O.I.S might be a bit of an advantage for them, as Dropleto is incredibly low. Trying to use the flip soon, but both barriers have already fallen on the side of the Bozo Bunch. And now they're in a terrible passing play spot as Vaughn rushes in with the speed, finds a simple strike out of the Oni's blade. And now once again it is the S.A.D.B.O.I.S who are up.
Taking the lead, taking advantage, and winning quickly. As you were saying earlier, it really is so important that they do that, and they're starting to get that level lead as well. Level 9 on Vaughn. Level 8 on the Kai on the X as he gets the kill on the Aimee. Vaughn also looking very low here. Potential kill angle. A little bit of damage from the slimes as well. 2 barriers going down. Zentaro is dead and coming back on the field right now, but they missed the goal opportunity. They're still trying to get this kill onto Vaughn, but they haven't gotten it quite yet, and now it's The power play is ended. I still has the core flip available. He might look to use it soon, but it's not quite enough just yet.
Yeah, they're in a bit of a tough spot now because Vaughn is staying alive. Vaughn is regenning and barraging the slimes away, and once again taken out finally. As the power play continues, Dropleto will secure it. Dropleto will make sure that it is still tied up. It's still a pretty concerning next point, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot on the line here because of just the awakenings that can crop up that can really blow this game open. There's still some on the field. If an IME gets a Deadeye, that would be brutal. But at the same time, there's something like Egoist that you could still pick up, that you could still get your hands on. And if those are seen, it's going to be an immediate pickup. You need to be careful about those. And so whoever wins this could come out winning the game just off of that. 2 barriers taken, the core flip as well. Everything invested, and that is going to be Vaughn taking the goal with a lot of help from the entire team. They're good team play, and let's see what their rewards are.
Well, it's so rough too. The Bozo Bunch just didn't pull the trigger on a big play. Tried to greed for saving the top barrier as well when they had 2 barriers that could have afforded to lose one. And the S.A.D.B.O.I.S just pounced on an opportunity. And now they have the chance to deny 1-2 punch away from the Juno. They have a chance to pick up a lot more scaling on their side. And Super Surge denied away, yes. But that is more cooldowns for the Zentaro of Bells.
Yeah, more cooldowns on a Zentaro. You have at least also have more cooldowns on the Juno to somewhat counter it, but it's not quite the same. That Bells has been using that ultimate so well throughout this entire game. And yeah, I mean, Bread's getting the Adrenaline Rush is nice, but Bread's hasn't usually been the one getting the kills. He's usually been doing a lot of setup for them in the damage department. I don't get the assists, because I don't think he usually is hitting super close to when the kill actually happens. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also not the best. And we see 1 barrier for 1 barrier traded here. Bell's taking a lot of damage, though. Strike shot from Breads is really nice, but it's not quite enough just yet. The big finish just set up for this barrier. Dropleto puts it in. Does have to use the X Maximus, though, so he's not going to really get the X Tech. Does go for a nice Bull Rush strike combo, and that's almost Bell's going down, but Bread's not quite getting the kill. Strike shot is really nice. Black holes as well into the Bells, but not enough to get the kill.
Bells so low, but still staying alive like you're saying, and the Bozo Bunch can't find a clear opening until maybe now as Gret goes in, but doesn't have the slime then. It's saved away by the S.A.D.B.O.I.S, who are staying alive somehow, and Bells is regen back.
Great core flip from I there to stop that Zentaro ultimate from coming true. That is a kill, though. That is the power play. Kai going down. He already loses still alive, still has the core flip. Going forward with the Cyber Strike, really aggressive in this negative power play here. X Maximus is used for a little bit of extra range and to just extend the IME in. And that is going to be Dropleto getting the goal in the end. Last little redirect from the Juno there. 1 goal for the from the boys for the Bozos. But that much effort just to get the 1 goal, and Bozo Bunch need to do that 5 more times in order to win.
Yeah, right now the Firewall Sentry is looking like a threat, but the Bozo Bunch have plenty of flips available here. If Dropleto and Breads can find an opportunity quickly, can find these barriers quickly, that would be huge, because so far their biggest problem has been greeting the flips, trying to find the opportunity, but that's a punch, that's a flip, that's Vaughn going away, and that's both barriers down.
Yeah, Black Hole as well is used, and X gets the redirect down to the bottom. 28-second point, and the Bozo Bunch are starting to run away with it. This X is level 10. He's gotten a lot of awakenings he really wants. I would say it's safe to say that Dropleto has scaled, and this could be where the Bozo Bunch is drawing the line in the sand, saying no more. You will get no more sets, no more points, no more barriers from us. But a kill from Bells might be the thing to stop that.
Breads flip still available here. Could hold on with drop, but they're both taking so much chip damage from the Firewall Sentry, and Breads is greeting the flip so much. Stood in the Firewall Sentry, stood in the Oni's blade, and now they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, the greed on the flips is insane, but sometimes as goalies, that's what you want to do to just live. Dodges the barrage as well. Not perfectly executed by Vaughn. Bells also very low. That is Vaughn going off the edge. Bells dodges out of the way of the slime there. Has to also be careful of the mines on the ground. Dropleto getting that second barrier. That is Bells going off. Redirected into the primary from I believe. And then we have Dropleto in the goal with the bull rush, with the core flip, with the goal. And taking us to a set 5 in game 3. Bozo versus BOIS.
That was such a Dropleto do score moment. There are not many brawlers that strike war that well, and Dropleto is out here strike warring, you already lose. quite results-wise the best player of all time in Omega Strikers. Getting the first pick, getting the Egoist, going to be even more explosive on the offense here as the Juno also gets possibly a Spark, possibly a Manu, but goes for the Spark of Strength in combination with the Spark of Focus. This Juno has fully scaled.
They just let Bells get explosive entrance again. I mean, yeah, you get some sparks and you get some resilience on the Fini, but I feel like it would have been better to just keep the Zentaro from getting all that extra dash range, because Bells was just shown to be so good at using it. I hope for the sake of the Bozo Bunch that wasn't a misdraft, but I can't help but feel like it was, especially with X going down like that. I mean, it wasn't even to the Zentaro, but it just gives him so much more leverage in this game.
But there's one thing that they did completely right in the draft, and that's the pick from Gret. Spark of Power plus Spark of Focus plus Hotshot means that it is Red Core City. Just enough power to use with the Hotshot to take over this game, and this Aimi is going to struggle on the defense.
Yeah, we also see the slimes going around, but that's Dropleto going off the field again. Absolutely brutal for the X, and S.A.D.B.O.I.S seems to have just found the key to dealing with X. Just say, yeah, just kill him. Doesn't matter. He can kill us, but if we kill him faster, it doesn't matter. The strike shot, not perfect. Bells almost finding the angle, but it wasn't enough. Finding a clear somehow between Kai and Zentaro there. Amazingly, Vaughn has the core flip. Not going to use just yet. You already lose as well. Opting for the glitch pop. Ooh, risky in front of the goal clear there, but it does get the job done in the end. Dropleto also with a great clear. Black hole is used, almost sets it up for Bells, but it's cleared properly there. Vaughn going for dribble on the bottom, but it's strike war won by Gret. Long range core flip through the misdirection. Obscure Bread's just not paying attention to that one, and really well found by Vaughn.
From downtown, Vaughn uses the energy to its full potential. S.A.D.B.O.I.S in the lead despite the heroics from the Bozo Bunch, but the core speed is still a factor. If Gret is allowed to play at corners, if Gret is allowed to get some slimes, that is a threat. But Bells, you mentioned the explosive entrance pickup. This Zentaro is unleashed, and we're seeing right here. But Dropleto catches Vaughn sleeping near the corner, and that's a huge opening for the Bozo Bunch as they take both barriers.
Yeah, take both barriers. The glitch pop is nice, but doesn't do enough. Obscure Bread's also getting that core flip available. Bells very low on health. Gret has the core flip. The slimes in front of the goal does get canceled there. The great core flip to counter the Giga Blast as well, and Obscure Bread just trying to keep it forward with the core flip himself.
Yeah, that was scary because if Gret... Oh, the core speed! Gret on the bottom side! I was about to say something, but I saw the slime, and I saw the angle, and I knew that is the power of the Juno with enough power and hot shots. It's 1-1.
Tied up all over again. What a game. What a great game given by these players. That is two barriers going down as well. All the speed from the Juno is just paying dividends. The S.A.D.B.O.I.S angle was not quite the S.A.D.B.O.I.S angle. They did indeed get the barrier there. Dropleto trying to use the X-Tech to get it through, but it's not enough. The turret from Aimi is so good here. The bell ringer, the core flip does Dropleto have. He's going to put it in the goal. Yes, he will. 1 versus 3, 2 versus 3, I suppose, to be fair to Gret there as well, but sometimes it feels like Dropleto with that core flip just feels like he doesn't even need any help. If he didn't have a midfield, if he didn't have a goalie, it wouldn't matter. Dropleto just gets it done.
Speaking of the energy situation, flip on Obscure Bread's flip on Gret coming up as well, almost dying but staying alive. This energy is so difficult to deal with for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S as both barriers go down. Once again, Dropleto's going into the midst of absolutely everybody, and Bread's has so much insurance, 2 barriers to none. All it takes is 1 shot from the Juno, as a good clear by Vaughn will send it away for the moment. Dropleto kills the goalie, hits stunned away, but still dashing forwards. And now all it takes is 1 shot into a mostly open net.
But Bells with the core flip keeping it forward. Aimi respawns in just a couple of seconds. The power play is about to dissolve, and now it has. The strike shot is good to get it forward. Dropleto gets it forward as well with the bulwark, with the bell ringer, with the core flip, but doesn't get the kill. So much invested just for that, and nothing to save for it. The glitch pop, it does do a lot of damage to Dropleto as well. He's trying to get it done, but he can't. Aimi is dodging too well. You already lose his staying alive. Black hole does so much damage to the Juno there. The slime is not enough either, trying to dribble off the bottom as well. The misdirection misses. Unfortunately, the bell ringer is dodged by Bells. The slime comes out with the red core. We are in overtime now as well. There's a core flip available for this Juno. She's trying to use as well with the slime. So much speed rocketing across the map. The Giga Blast, though, puts it right back to where it came from. The flurry as well from the Zentaro. A lot of damage as well from the slime. Obscure Bread's playing up as well with the triple take. They're trying to close it out. The glitch pop is gonna S.A.D.B.O.I.S in this game is so insane. Their namesake for a reason.
Unfortunately, working against them this time is Dropleto's dribbling up. Gret looking for a slime. The slimes go wide, but Bells can't snipe it either. The core speed managed by Vaughn for the moment. On the top side, really dangerous spot, but Bells can't get the right side of the Onis. Blade, the core bouncing to the top side, the slimes, the cover. Dropleto with the bell ringer hit stun, and the Bozo Bunch managed to take the series.
What a series. And you can see the Bozo Bunch very happy after that game with all of their emotes there. Just incredible play. Dropleto, the MVP, well deserved on that one, putting in the work so many times when you thought that they were down and out, when you thought, oh, there's no way that one forward could just 1v2, 1v3, 1v whatever. He's just going to say, nah, I'd win. I'll do it. Doesn't matter. X-Tech, use it. Core flip, bull rush, doesn't matter. He uses his kit so well in those situations. And it's just some of the best X-play I have seen, and backed up by ObscureBreads with that sniping Fini so well, so many times, the abilities perfectly placed, and of course, not even mentioning thus far, the slimes from Gret were, I mean, so quick, but also so well placed so many times to just force you to pay attention to the slimes, whether you have to step on them, whether you have to clear a really awkward angle around them. Just so well played by the entirety of Bozo Bunch in that entire game.
Shout out to MrZerrtt, because if the Bozo Bunch lose the first two games, Dropleto doesn't even get to play here. And look at Dropleto's stats. I mean, expectations were high because Zerrtt performed so well, but Dropleto somehow managed to still exceed expectations. And I will say, as much as we've been talking about the Brawlers, you were right. ObscureBreads, I think, was the MVP. That guy picked Fini 3 times. That guy looked amazing on Fini 3 times.
Yeah, I just, from downtown, it was almost like clockwork. Every time that misdirection came up, practically, I think there was maybe 1 or 2 major misses, but pretty much every time that ability was up, it was used so well. Every single one of the abilities from that Fini, the entire 3-game series long, and that is no mean feat either. Because when you're playing these games to this level, going the distance in these games, there is so much fatigue, mental game, so many things you can talk about, but just to keep that consistency throughout the entire series is amazing from ObscureBreads.
Yeah, what an incredible performance. But we will have to go to a bit of a break. The post show is coming up. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We will be right back.
See you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the post show where we have winners of matches today here and an invisible forgot somewhere among us. But first of all, we're here with NXZD, Era's Kitten Club, sitting at 3-0, top of the standings. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. This is a really fun week for us, especially with Soren on midfield. I mean, Abayuki. It actually went pretty well considering all the circumstances, because Soren's also at like a LAN for Valorant today, and Katsune is at a LAN for League. So both my teammates are at LANs right now, and we had to find some way to make our schedule work this week. And thank God Soren is able to like fit like an hour or two into his schedule today, so he can play. You know.
And similarly, sitting at 3-0, Card Box. Cosmic Calamities looking good right now. Any thoughts after that matchup?
We are absolutely excited after that matchup. We've been working really hard trying to get comps and like actually synergize as a team, because in the beginning it was really rough. But we're just happy to get what are arguably two of the strongest teams in the league just out of the way, and with a win at that.
You said just out of the way, but you won. And I've heard a lot about
Yeah.
like your research and all of that really helping the team. Anything you want to say about that in particular? In terms of prep?
I'd say my prepping really is just me collectively thinking, okay, what does this work? What do we lose on in scrims? And then after that, we just never pick it again. And then shout out to Soren, because he's the main reason that he actually pulled out S.A.D.B.O.I.S goalie today. He gave me the inspiration, and also Grimella has just been helping me a lot with team comps and things.
And Breads, big win today versus the S.A.D.B.O.I.S, winning with MrZerrtt as well, right? And getting Fini all 3 games. Big matchup out of the way, a bit of a cinematic one. Anything you want to say after that one?
Absolutely. Shout out Zert. I mean, he played like a beast today. He actually locked in. It was so fun playing with him today. But it was a crazy series. I had so much fun.
Right, and with our cam list forgot, we have a certain Shams here with us today to ask a few questions about modern Magic and their spectacular goalie performance with Pensando.
Hey everybody, Shams Omega Strikers here. I have with me Forgot OS. Forgot, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Shams?
I'm great. So today you fielded Pensando in the goal box. Can you talk me through that?
Uh-huh. So basically, I guess Ron just decided he doesn't really want to play anymore. So we used one of our subs. Like, we have 2 subs that can actually like realistically play, and it worked out because that guy carried me so hard in both games. Yeah, that guy's just so good. It's crazy. I have nothing but plays for Pensando.
Yeah, he played like a beast. I'll say it. So we say goodbye to Ron P. Moving forward, will you guys be going? Will you guys be going forward with Pensando?
That is to be decided. Any goalies that think they're NASL caliber, hit me up. Forgot to on Discord. Send me a DM. We are looking for a new goalie. Yeah, hit me up, guys.
All right, there you have it. Modern Magic 2-1 record going into our 3-week hiatus. Looking for a new goalie. Plenty of time to find one. Who knows who will step out of the black hole that Ron P has left behind. Saya, back to you.
Thank you, Shams. And let's go back to some of the players to get some shout outs before we end the stream. NX, anyone you want to shout out? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, shout out our subs, of course, or Zoro for coming out today. Zay for the past week too, when I was out. And shout out to my teammates, of course, as always. And I think we played really well today, so I'm really proud of them. And I'm glad we were able to make it work. So good job, team.
All right, Card Box, anything you want to say as we close out?
Yeah, I got a bunch of shout outs. Obviously, first, shout out to my team. They played amazing today. It just felt great. Shout out to Color Craze for divining that we would win all three of these past weeks, actually. So shout out to them. Shout out to Fwop, Vlad, and Kyo also for warming us up. I mean, thank you. Soren, NXD, Katsuna, Lola Mao, and Gramella. They made everything possible for these 3 weeks.
Wow,
Yeah, that's it.
you did not lie. That was a lot of people. Breads, any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out again, Zerrtt. Great performance today. Shout out Water Fury for subbing for me last week so I could go to Vegas and not have to worry about figuring out a way to play. And shout out my teammates and specifically Drop for coming in, playing, and immediately leaving without saying anything. Go.
Right. Last but not least, Forgot. Before you shout out people, can you explain to the class why your username on Discord is Forgot to and not Forgot?
Okay, no need to bring it up, but basically, I was joking around in a different server. I said I was 12 years of age. Obviously, I'm not. And Discord auto mod picked that up and instantly permabanned me. And I haven't provided identification yet. So I used to be Forgot one, but yeah.
All right, and now do you have any shout outs? Anything you want to say?
Yeah. Shout out Carmine Unk because he just trusts me a lot. I don't know. Like, he trusts me enough to let me play Zentaro and let me play other brawlers and stuff. So I appreciate that. And then also, I just want to say, you guys, a lot of you had us last at the start of the season, and now we're 2-1, and that just feels really good. So frick all of you. I was gonna say the other word, but yeah. And then shout out my mom, of course.
All right, and totally unrelated to any of the games that happened today. Shams, anything you want to say before we close out?
Yeah, I'd also like to shout out MrZerrtt, following Brett's shout out earlier. I heard that they had a rough week in NASA last week, but I saw that he climbed the mountains. He looked for guidance. He went to the sages of Brawler, and he found some reliable insight that allowed him to pull a game off of S.A.D.B.O.I.S this week. So shout out to MrZerrtt. Really an insane performance this week.
All right, with that, thank you everyone for watching and playing in this week of the North American Strikers League. Don't forget to watch NASA tomorrow. We're going to have some interesting matchups. I actually don't know what they are, but see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.